couple of years ago.
Oh.
And but Ian really didn't decide to do that till I think he was out of high school. And so we hired him. He worked part-time, and he said, well, I don't want to work full-time because that'd take me away from my painting. And so so in many ways he's a lot like our Michael, but it's different, always different subject matter.
Yeah. Well, the thing that struck me instantly about meeting Ian in this gallery in Kansas City was how friendly he was and sort of enthusiastic.
And he wasn't always that way.
He wasn't.
And when he started working at Sign Company, I made a point every time, this is after I retired, I made a point, I'd go talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
And when he first started painting, he said, well, I got this many, I got 100, I got 200 hours in this one, I got 100. And I said, well, how much you want for? Well, oh no, he said, I will get. I said, you got to get over that. I said, that's one of the first things you do, is that I've got all this time in there. I don't want to get rid. And I said, you've got to get over that. Well, then he started marketing Michael's things on eBay because he had a friend that he worked with that got him into that. And so, but he was reluctant about even showing his work. And I said, you've got to get over that. I mean, we all spend hundreds of hours in something, but if you're going to continue and get better, you're going to have to sell it. So he puts these enormous prices on things that I've never dared to even do, but he's been selling them all over. And so, but don't ever say, oh, don't do that, because they'll discourage them and they won't ever do it again. But I love talking to him, and he just, you can see a change in him. But after that, and so.
Well, he's, some artists are articulate and others aren't, but he was so kind of.
Oh yeah, it was his arm too. Well, he and Michael both, their arms.
So I liked his paintings, but I liked him just as well, because he was so.
Well, he was always, when he was real little, he got interested in clocks. Well, he wore these catalogs out looking at the clocks in there, and then dinosaurs. I knew at that time, once he got on a subject, it would be, he could just focus all of his energy on that. That's the way he's been. The only thing I did, I warned him from the very start, because he was in this games thing, and I said, you want to remember that the laws protect the artist. I said, don't ever do something that takes a chance that somebody's copyright on that. If you do, make up your own games. Don't rely on that. So I'd always warn him about things like that. So.
Well, and I noticed that you have one of Michael's puzzles, and so it's kind of. The Youngs are kind of a universe.
Well, yeah, if we don't see Michael for a couple of weeks, we could go to his studio and there's, all kinds of things we've never seen before. Because he's always been that way. That was just. Well,
let's go back on this picture. That if you could just kind of show.
The red deer. Yeah. But we grew up with this in our home, and that. And I realized, well, that's something I would like to do,
who did the picture again?
Well, this was she would have been my great aunt. She was my mother's aunt, and she was a telephone operator in England, and she drew when she wasn't busy plugging people in on the switchboard. She was drawing animals. She did, but every birthday card, when she would write to my mother, it would have a drawing on it. So it was just something that we grew up with. It was just like the same way her parents were. One was an artist and one was an art teacher. So in England, Ross on the Wye was where they grew up.
Where's that about?
Well, it's on the, what would that be? The west side of England. It's a little bit north of Wales.
Okay.
And when my mother's father left England at 17, the church where they went to church was already 700 years old. So when we visited over there, the church, they were still using the church, and it was 800 years old then. So
Is